Okay students, so in the last session we have completed chemical composition of urine. Okay, now we will be starting with the abnormalities in urine. Okay, what exactly should be there in urine, you all know very well. Okay, generally normal urine में क्या रहता है 95% water and 5% other substances. In 5% other substances there are organic substances, inorganic substances, and in organic substances there are nitrogenous organic substances and non-nitrogenous organic substances. Okay, but in addition to that, if there is any abnormality or malfunctioning of the excretory system, okay, there will be addition of excess amount of protein, glucose or ketone bodies or blood cells, hemoglobin in the urine. Okay, so if there is addition of these important substances in the urine, okay, it will result in abnormality. ओके गॉट इट. सो जो कुछ भी बॉडी के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है वो बॉडी में रहना चाहिए. इट शुड नॉट बी एक्सक्रीटेड आउट, एंड इफ इट इज एक्सक्रीटेड आउट थ्रू द यूरिन दैट मीन्स देर इज सर्टन abnormality which is seen in the individual. So let's discuss what are the different abnormalities which are seen in the individuals if there is excess amount of protein or if there is excess amount of RBCs. Okay, or if there is pus cells in the urine, वो disorder को क्या बोलते हैं वो सब हम लोग ये session में discuss करने वाले हैं. So let's start with the session abnormalities in urine. Okay, first one is albuminuria. Name itself suggests it's very easy students. Albuminuria, what is albumin? Albumin is the large size plasma protein, okay, which is present in the blood plasma. Blood plasma has many plasma proteins such as albumin, globulin, serum albumin, serum globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin, okay, then heparin. All these are the different plasma protein. Okay, albuminuria में क्या होता है, serum albumin also enters in the urine. That means serum generally ultrafiltration के process में plasma proteins are not entering in the ultrafiltrate. Okay, so nephric filtrate में से में कभी आते नहीं है ये large size plasma proteins. Okay, but due to inflammation of the glomerulus, inflammation of the nephron, it may happen that these plasma proteins may also get filtered, and these plasma proteins will enter in the nephric tubules, and once they enter in the nephric tubules they will not be reabsorbed because their size is quite big. Okay, got it. So यहाँ पे albuminuria में क्या होता है, there is presence of excess serum albumin in the urine. Okay, and such type of disorder, that's why it is known as albuminuria. So what is the reason? Inflammation of the glomeruli and nephritis, or nephritis means what? Inflammation of the nephrons. अभी नेफ्रॉन का इन्फ्लेमेशन हो गया मीन्स बोमेन्स कैप्सूल का वो जो लेयर है दैट इज विच लेयर? विसरल लेयर. विसरल लेयर हैज पोडोसाइट्स एंड दीज पोडोसाइट्स आर प्लेस्ड एट पर्टिकुलर डिस्टेंस टू फॉर एफिशिएंट फिल्ट्रेशन, राइट. सो स्लिट जो फॉर्म होते हैं फिल्ट्रेशन स्लिट्स, देर इज इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ दिस सेल्स and layer of the Bowman's capsule, because of which there will be filtration of this serum albumin from the blood, and this serum albumin will enter in the urine. Okay, so albumin जो important है body के लिए वो भी बाहर जा रहा है urine through, so it's not good. So what is the reason for albuminuria? Inflammation of the glomeruli, इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ द नेफ्रॉन. इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ नेफ्रॉन को क्या बोलते हैं? नेफ्राइटिस. ओके, नेफ्राइटिस होता है तभी साइज ऑफ द फिल्ट्रेशन स्लिट विल इंक्रीज. फिल्ट्रेशन स्लिट इज द स्पेस बिटवीन द पोडोसाइट्स ऑफ द विसरल लेयर. गॉट इट. देन फिल्ट्रेशन स्लिट में ये भी आएगा फुट लाइक प्रोसेसेस विच आर देयर इन द podocyte of the visceral layer, that is there is also space which is present. Okay, so the filtration slit size will increase, so there will be no proper filtration. Okay, got it. So albumin urea में क्या होता है? Albumin is excess in urine. Then protein urea. Protein urea, other proteins as I told you, serum albumin, serum globulin. Serum proteins कौन से हैं? Serum albumin, serum globulin. So serum albumin as well as serum globulin are excess in amount in urine. Okay, so that's why it is known as protein urea. Protein urea, जिसमें कि very important proteins of the serum part of the blood are also present in the urine. Okay, which are those? Serum albumin and serum globulin. Then glycosuria. Glycosuria or else glucosuria, one and the same. It is the gluco is the word for glucose. Okay, so glucose when it becomes excess in the body, okay, glucose, blood glucose level अगर बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया and if it crosses 180 milligrams, okay, then this glucose will be excreted out of the body through urine. Okay, so urine में glucose का concentration ज़्यादा रहेगा and glucose will be excreted out. जनरली क्या होता है, ग्लूकोज इवन इफ इट इज एंटरिंग इन द नेफ्रिक फिल्ट्रेट आफ्टर अल्ट्रा फिल्ट्रेशन, दैट होल ग्लूकोज इज रीअब्जॉर्ब्ड इन द पीसीटी. ओके, बट डायबिटीज मेलिटस पेशेंट्स में क्या होता है, देर इज डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंसुलिन बिकॉज ऑफ विच दिस ग्लूकोज इज नॉट रीअब्जॉर्ब्ड इन प्रॉपर वे बाय द पीसीटी एज वेल एज ये जो उनके सेल्स है उनको ग्लूकोज कम मिलता है, बॉडी के सेल्स को ग्लूकोज कम मिलता है. क्यों कम मिलता है? बिकॉज इंसुलिन का डेफिशिएंसी रहता है एंड इफ देर इज डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंसुलिन, अमाउंट ऑफ ग्लूकोज अवेलेबल फॉर द सेल विल become less and there will be starvation of the cells. Okay, so blood में का ग्लूकोज हाई हो जाएगा बिकॉज ब्लड में का ग्लूकोज सेल में नहीं जा रहा है. वाई ब्लड का ग्लूकोज सेल में क्यों नहीं जा रहा है? बिकॉज ऑफ डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंसुलिन. गॉट इट. सो व्हाट हैपन्स हियर, ड्यू टू राइज इन द ग्लूकोज लेवल, हाई थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट क्रॉस होने के कारण whatever excess glucose which is there, it is released out of the body through urine. Okay, so this is commonly seen in diabetes mellitus patients due to deficiency of insulin. All of you understood what is glucosuria or glycosuria? Then next abnormality, that is ketonuria. Ketonuria, it is a condition in which ketone bodies enter in the urine. What are ketone bodies? Ketone bodies are the substances which are formed due to metabolism of excess fat. Okay, so fatty person में generally fat का concentration ज़्यादा रहता है and if that excess amount of fat is deposited in the cells, this excess fat will be broken down into ketone bodies. Okay, then other reason why the ketone bodies are present in the urine, because of fasting continuously. If the person is fasting or else person is not having food on regular basis, okay, 8-10 दिन भूखा ही है, तो definitely whatever fat which is there in the body is utilized. There will be metabolism of the fat and during breakdown of the fat these ketone bodies will be formed. Okay, so more metabolism of the fats produces ketone bodies. If the person is under starvation for several days, then diabetes mellitus patients can also प्रोड्यूस मोर ऑफ द कीटोन बॉडीज. उनके बॉडी में भी बहुत सारे कीटोन बॉडीज बनते हैं बिकॉज ग्लूकोज नहीं मिल रहा है सेल्स को, तो वट एवर फैट्स जो है बॉडी में डिपॉजिट हुआ है दैट फैट विल बी मेटाबोलाइज्ड इन डायबिटीज मेलिटस पेशेंट्स टू गेट एनर्जी. Okay, so that's why in diabetes mellitus glycosuria is also there and ketonuria is also there. So all of you understood what is ketonuria. Ketonuria is a condition in which there is maximum amount of ketone bodies in urine, and these ketone bodies which are there, these are formed due to excess metabolism of fats, and when the person is under starvation for many days. ओके, डायबिटीज़ मेलिटस पेशेंट्स में कीटोन बॉडीज़ का, उनके यूरिन में कीटोन बॉडीज़ का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ज़्यादा हो सकता है. वाई? बिकॉज फॉर गेटिंग एनर्जी वॉट एवर फैट विच इज़ देयर दैट इज़ यूटिलाइज बाय देयर बॉडी. ओके, बिकॉज ग्लूकोज ब्लड में का जो ग्लूकोज है वो सेल्स में नहीं जा सकता बिकॉज ऑफ डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंसुलिन इन दीज पेशेंट्स. Then hematuria. Hematuria, name itself suggests, hemat is the word for what? Say blood cells. Blood cells. Especially here I am talking about RBCs, because RBCs have hemoglobin. That's why they are red in color. Hemoglobin is iron containing pigment, respiratory pigment for carrying oxygen. Okay, transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in our body because of hemoglobin. Okay, so RBCs, if they are present in the urine, okay, during ultrafiltration, supposing if there is inflammation of the glomerulus or inflammation of the nephron, there will be entry of the blood cells in the renal tubules. Okay, and this condition will be then called as hematuria. Especially which blood cells I am talking about? RBCs. WBCs may also enter. Okay, but RBCs ज़्यादा रहते हैं उनके यूरिन में. अगर RBCs ज़्यादा है, red blood cells, then what will be the color of the urine? Red. Okay, pale red in color. So it occurs due to what must be the reason? Inflammation of the glomeruli, inflammation of the nephron. क्यों inflammation होगा? बिकॉज ऑफ इन्फेक्शन टू द किडनीज. किडनीज को इन्फेक्शन हो गया है, और एल्स इंजरी टू द किडनीज, और यूरिनरी ब्लैडर, यूरिनरी ट्रैक का इन्फेक्शन हो गया है. सो डेफिनेटली देयर विल बी मच मोर rupturing of that area, and because of rupturing of the blood capillaries, these RBCs will enter in the nephric filtrate. Thus it will be present in urine also. So that is all about hematuria. Remember, hematuria है तो RBCs will be more in urine. Then hemoglobin-uria. Hemoglobin-uria, here free hemoglobin is excess in amount. Okay, यूरिन में फ्री हीमोग्लोबिन ज़्यादा रहता है. सो RBCs rupture and free hemoglobin enters in the urine. So bright red color दिखाई देगा यूरिन का, and then afterwards it darkens because of oxidation of this free hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin-uria means presence of free hemoglobin in urine, and it is seen in the patients who are suffering from severe malaria. Okay, malaria is caused by plasmodium, and plasmodium के 3 species जो है वो malaria cause कर सकते हैं. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium falciparum. ओके, सबसे सीवियर मलेरिया जो कॉज करने वाला प्लाज्मोडियम है वो प्लाज्मोडियम फैल्सीपैरम. एंड यू ऑल नो वेरी वेल दैट प्लाज्मोडियम अटैक्स आरबीसीज. ओके, आरबीसीज को वो रप्चर कर देता है प्लाज्मोडियम, एंड व्हेन द आरबीसीज विल रप्चर डेफिनेटली हीमोग्लोबिन विल कम आउट फ्रॉम द आरबीसीज, and this free hemoglobin will enter in the urine. So that's why the color of the urine will become red, and red colored urine will be excreted out of the body by the patients who are suffering from falciparum malaria. Okay, then pyuria. Pyuria means what? Presence of pus cells and WBCs in urine. Now why here pus cells and WBCs are there? Because whenever there is infection of a urinary tract, or else if there is infection of the kidney, definitely वो जो इन्फेक्टेड सेल्स है, there will be damage to these tissues and cells, okay, and those cells will be known as pus cells, okay. So infected cells of excretory tract and WBCs, जहाँ पे इन्फेक्शन होता है वहाँ पे WBCs भी इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे. Got it? So to destroy the damaged cells को destroy करने के लिए macrophages engulf करेंगे उसको. So number of WBCs will also increase in the infected area. Got it? So due to infection there is presence of more of pus cells as well as WBCs in that area, and those pus cells and WBCs will enter in the nephric filtrate and they will invade the urinary tract, and thus that urine will have pus cells as well as WBCs. So such type of disorder is known as pyuria. Next is jaundice. In jaundice what exactly happens? There is rupturing of RBCs, more rupturing of RBCs. worn out RBCs जो है वो कफर सेल्स डिस्ट्रॉय करते हैं. कफर सेल्स आर द सेल्स which are present in the liver. Those are amoeboid cells. So these kafir cells will engulf more of worn out RBCs, and many worn out RBCs will be destroyed, and due to destruction or else breaking up of the RBCs, hemoglobin will come out, and this hemoglobin will further gets broken down into bile pigments, that is bilirubin and biliverdin. So bilirubin and biliverdin are yellowish greenish pigments which will enter in the blood and spread everywhere in the body, because of which there will be yellowing of the eyes, yellowing of the skin and nails. ओके अभी ये बिलिरुबिन बिलिवर्डिन तो फैल गया सब बॉडी में, फिर भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, दिस बिलिरुबिन एंड बिलिवर्डिन विल एंटर इन द यूरिन. So that's why the urine which is excreted by the person who is suffering from jaundice is dark yellow in color. Why it is dark yellow in color? Because of maximum amount of bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay. So we have seen total 8 abnormalities in urine if there is malfunctioning of the kidneys, malfunctioning of the glomeruli and nephron of the kidneys. Okay. First is albuminuria, presence of serum albumin in maximum amount in urine in addition to nitrogenous waste, non-nitrogenous waste and inorganic substances. Okay. Then proteinuria, excess amount of protein, that is serum albumin and serum globulin in urine. Then glycosuria or glucoseuria, excess amount of glucose in the urine because of much more concentration of glucose in blood. This is seen in diabetes mellitus patients. Ketonuria, presence of ketone bodies in the urine. Ketone bodies are formed due to excess metabolism of the fats. Okay, it is seen in diabetes mellitus patients. Why it is seen in diabetes mellitus patients? Because diabetes mellitus patient के cells को कम glucose मिलता है, so उनको energy चाहिए function करने के लिए. So for getting energy, whatever fat which is stored in the body will be utilized. That means there will be excess metabolism of the fats, and if there is excess metabolism of the fat, more of the ketone bodies will be formed. Then if the person is under starvation for several days, definitely for gaining energy, fat metabolism will be more in that individual. Okay. Then hematuria, presence of blood cells, especially more of RBCs in the urine, because of which there will be bright red color of the urine. And reason behind this, injury to the kidney and urinary tract. Okay, kidney stones होते हैं, infections हुए तो definitely there will be rupturing of the wall of the urinary tract, and these RBCs will enter the urine. Then hemoglobinuria, free hemoglobin present in the urine due to rupturing of more RBCs. Especially this condition is seen in the patients who are suffering from falciparum malaria. Then pyuria, excess amount of pus cells and WBCs in urine. If there is any urinary tract infection, chances of pyuria is more. Then jaundice, presence of bile pigments such as bilirubin and biliverdin in the urine because of excess rupturing of the RBCs, and these RBCs are engulfed by the Kupffer cells. So more RBCs will be ruptured, so more hemoglobin will get released, and this hemoglobin will then break down into bilirubin and biliverdin. Thus, much amount of bilirubin and biliverdin will be formed. So this bilirubin and biliverdin will enter in the urine. That's why the color of the urine will become dark yellow. So dark yellow urine is excreted out of the body of the individuals who are suffering from jaundice. So that is all about abnormalities in urine. Thank you.